Hey, on my off day and nighttime, and basically spent a good bit of today being reminded of basically how I grew up a bit, which is on movies. And for the first time in a long time, I've given myself a bit of a movie marathon, which so far looks like a triple feature because I have only seen 3 horror movies so far today. First of which being Dance of the Dead, which I think some of you have likely seen. And I think a few people would have some not so nice comments about it and think that it's not up to par per se to, like, let's say, Zombieland. But to me, it basically reminds me of how I started off as a horror fan. It's like a massive good go-to in the area of starting off as a horror fan. Especially when you're at that young age and you are getting into horror and want to watch horror. So, especially when the effects aren't too extreme, there's no nudity whatsoever in the movie. I mean, of course, there's some blood, guts, and cursing, especially with the likes of Justin Welborn, who is usually well known for her stunt work and I believe some singing. And it's in another horror movie that I've seen him in called The Final Destination, which, spoiler alert, not the actual Final Destination. But seriously, it is a fun zombie movie to watch. And I've been watching it since I was like 13, 14 years old. And another one that I've been watching since I was like 13 to 14 years old, which was the second movie choice for me today, was The Telling, which is one of those anthology movies of a sort that is about characters telling stories. Although this time around through, it's a sorority house with very sexed up, dressed up queen bee witches coming around and pledging these 3 girls, making them tell very scary stories, promising to change their lives for the sexier, the better, the more popular, making girls that seem like average Joes like us live life better in every way. And to throw in the whole sorority being as one thing, every way. And it's another, and to me, I feel like it's another good beginning to get into the horror genre, because, like I said, it's not too much blood and guts, but it can be scary. Although the only warning that I can give you is one scene where there is a topless lady. Although I think some of you guys might actually like that. Sure. But another warning that I will give you is that there is a suicide in the movie, at the beginning of the movie, because of these sorority girls is pledging. And any of you who have seen the movie knows perfectly well, they end up hearing a Justin Timberlake song where it goes, "Tale us all this time, girl, you got what you deserved." And I'm not going to even spoil how that happens. I'm not going to spoil how it happens. And I will say this movie also plays a really awesome song called You're Not One of Them by Red Paintings, which I actually had to buy the CD for to even hear the song anymore, because for some reason I cannot find it on YouTube anymore. I can't find it on YouTube anymore. It's a really awesome song. Not fair. I'll just sit here and be grumpy, but in the meantime, I'm on to my third horror movie of the day, which is one of the more recent released movies called The Substance, which is a really awesome horror movie and does tackle some toxic expectations on women in the show business. It definitely does a good job because almost every time I hear the character Harvey, he talks about women's fertility declining after 25, I can't help but do that. At the screen. Every single time I watch that part of the scene. It's like, Dennis Quaid, you definitely know how to play an ass. Pardon my French. And watching the kill count for The Substance also throws in how Margaret Qualley found it hard to play the perfect Sue. And we can't help but sympathize with her and Demi Moore when they feel like that they are injured or are getting overworked or exhausted to the point where they're doing The Substance. And it's like, oh my god, you're doing so good, but at the same time, I want to give you guys a hug. You beautiful ladies. And near the end, where they have like this one gross part, it's like so gross, but at the same time, every time I watch it, it's like, nice. Because it's like a good, delicious piece of horror. A good, delicious piece of body horror right there. It's like, I can't help but find that so awesome. I can't help but find that part so freaking awesome. And it's actually, if you want to know what I'm talking about, you're gonna have to watch the movie to find out. And if any of the other two movies that I've mentioned, Dance of the Dead, The Telling, if they seem interested, I highly recommend giving them a watch. Even if the special effects don't look as good as the ones seen in The Substance, which, damn, the effects in Substance is amazing. So freaking amazing. But I do recommend at least giving movies like Dance of the Dead and The Telling a good watch because they are pretty decent horror movies, especially for those who are beginning to explore horror movies. Believe me, I think you like it. I hope you like it. And this is just me spitballing and talking about some of my favorite movies at the moment, which in this case is going down memory lane, feeling that nostalgicness that I felt for rewatching these movies today. So that's my thoughts for today. I'm getting back to The Substance and maybe even making some more bracelets. Yep. I can't resist. I like the scary. Catch you on the flip side, my beautiful nerds.